Brothers and sisters, gather around me in this dark hour. For in these days we face a looming danger that hides among us. A danger that whispers in our ears, tempting us to throw ourselves into uncontrolled rage and violence. We live in a world where the unmentionables lurk in the shadows. And it is our duty to be the shining guardians that protect the sacred order that Sigmar created. We stand on the brink of destruction. It is not only the enemies outside our gates that threaten our lands. No. The true danger comes from the unseen, the unmentionables, who lurk in our minds and our hearts. They know that it is in our weakness they can find a foothold. When we allow our emotions, especially anger, to overpower us, we open the door to our souls, and it is here that the unmentionable steps in. They use our weakness as a key to our heart, for rage, when uncontrolled, can lead to violence, and violence will lead to destruction. Let me tell you a story of a simple man, a farmer from a small village, once known for its peaceful nature. His name is Alric. Alric was a man who worked hard to feed his family. He took pride in his harvest and in the vegetables he grew and the animals he raised. But like so many of us, Alric was struck by hard times. Hunger and hardship knocked on his door, and he could not understand why his work bore no fruit. In his bitterness and anger, he sought someone to blame for his misfortune. And the unmentionables quickly noticed Alric's weakness. They saw how his anger grew and spread like a disease. Instead of turning to faith or his community, Alric let himself be consumed by the negative emotions. He began to accuse others of his suffering, rather than seek help and support from his neighbors. He built an inner wall of anger and mistrust. The day came when Alric lost control. A young man from the village who had come to offer assistance became the target of Alric's accumulated hatred. And in his fury, Alric took a knife and attacked. His rage blinded him to the consequences, and he not only killed the young man, but also several others who tried to protect him. The blind rage that had consumed Alric became his destruction. But Alric was not solely responsible for his actions. It was the unmentionables who had whispered in his ear, planted the seeds of violence and destruction in his heart. They knew that Alric's weakness could be used to their advantage, and they exploited it. His downfall became a sacrifice, a warning of how uncontrolled anger can lead to the most horrific deeds. Today, brothers and sisters, we too are challenged. We see it in our own ranks, where frustration and anger are allowed to reign. We hear it in the words of those who attack each other instead of strengthening the bonds of community. It is easy to be swept away by rage, but we must remember what it costs. Our actions affect not only ourselves, but also our communities, our families, and our faith. We are gathered here today to strengthen one another, to find strength in our faith, for it is precisely faith that will protect us from the unmentionables and their cunning plans. Sigmar is our light, and his will is that we stand together, not let our weakness divide us. Anger will only lead to destruction and division. When we allow our emotions to control us, we open the door for the unmentionables to enter. So please, take care of yourself out there. Ave Sigmar.